Good morning, good morning. Good morning, good morning. Figuring out what the hell is wrong with my iTunes this morning. I guess it's not working. Good morning. What the fuck? Hold on, y'all, 1 second. Computer geeking already this morning. Good morning, good morning. Hold on. iTunes had a problem with the audio configuration. Come on, bro.
You know why you don't like it, right? Or we could just act like
somebody
we just
shit playing.
You know you play dumb. Well he.
All right. Good morning, everybody. My joint was geeking real quick. I just fixed it. Let the music play while I tag people in. The morning intro, my artist, Levy Vuitton. Bad one. That's what we playing before we get into our convo. As I'm tagging people. Please help me share it. We're going to have a deep convo today. Hold on. It still ain't playing. Wow. Damn shit. Guess not. Guess my joint's not playing today. So, either way, we'll get past this shit. Clearly, my sound joint is messing up on iTunes. Good morning to everybody who tapping in. This morning, we're gonna talk about the black father who touching his own daughters. And I'm gonna show you the picture in a second. Let's go up, let's go up, let's go up, let's go up. This is what we're gonna talk about today. Tag everybody in the building. Now, I've been up here for I've been back at the morning convos for a good week and a half now. Back at the same weak-ass mindsets of the people that get online and complain about the issues of me talking about the problems, black women, this, and that, da-da-da. All that's cool. But it's funny how when we get to these situations, then this morning we talking about a black men, we ain't gonna get the same pushback, right? So it's gonna be cool. My number's gonna be up this morning that I'm talking shit about a black man at the beginning and having something to say about this black man, which he is a fucked up person. But it's funny how when I'm having these same conversations about black women problems, the black women make sure they tap in. I see the numbers and they get the fuck up out of there, right? We're gonna have to be fair, we're gonna have to be biased, and we have to stop that weak ass mindset shit. Now I'm biased to what I speak about, and I'm going at the mentality more than just the gender, but at the end of the day, it has to be a certain way. So this morning, we're going to talk about this guy right here. And it says, perfect example of why you should never be envious or jealous of anyone or what they have because you can't judge a book solely by its cover. So sad that the man should be protecting these kids, especially the girls, is the same person who took their innocence. Stop having and leaving your children to just anybody. Now, this is their father. In the feed, I want everybody, before I go forward, I want anybody who's in here watching this shit or people in the feed to tell me what do they see wrong in this picture. Hold on 1 second, I'm still tapping the world. Tell me what y'all see wrong with this picture. I'll wait for some people to write on the feed. And please share this video. Hold on 1 second, y'all. Word, bro. I couldn't even damn get it to play my iTunes. Something wrong with my sound this morning. So I just went on. I don't know why my iTunes was tripping. But what's wrong with this picture? For everybody in the feed, tell me what's wrong with this picture. I want people, y'all write and tell me what on this picture is weird. said good morning, her hand on his daughter's lap like that, right? But his hand also in between her legs too, if you pay attention, right? And then that's the oldest daughter at the top, right? And then his mom. It's mom right there. Mom right there. Then you got their son. So you right, you said where his hand is on his daughter. But look at his daughter's facial expression. There's no reason why at her age she should have such a sexual facial expression. It's how she got her legs propped open. You know he touching on her. You see her facial expression? You can tell she's been touched sexually because she's not only laying there, but her legs are open in a certain manner, like she's almost like thinking he gonna go closer, right? Because just to touch a girl or anybody, a woman, if you touch a grown-ass woman in the area as a man, even if we taking a picture, her heart gonna be beating because you touching an area that's very sensitive to her, that's gonna set off her hormones. So I asked, what else do we see wrong with this picture? They saying the oldest daughter had came out and said that he was touching on her, but nobody listened. It's sick because at the end of the day, we got to say at the end of the day, this man got a woman with him. And so the question is, these his daughters, you know what I'm saying? I mean, can't say you don't know. Can't say you naive. But see, the issue in the morning time, when I got this issue of this black man that I'm about to chop the fuck up this morning, we gonna have a great conversation and a million women gonna be on my feed this morning. They gonna feel me. But as soon as we go to the second part of this conversation, y'all gonna stay with me? Or y'all gonna abandon this shit for the lack of accountability? I want y'all to be real with me. Now my point is, anytime I go live about something regular or something extra, all this week I go live, as soon as y'all get up and y'all see me talking about a black woman, it's like, it's a turn off. But how do we fix this problem if we ain't attacking both sides and majority decide with power? If it was 50 years ago, I'd be talking about all black men because the black man is in power. He can change the mindset for his woman. Black man ain't in that position today. But I just want to be real about it. Now, this guy, he got 1, 2, 3, 4 daughters. Now, she's super young, right? But she browner than the rest, make me almost feel like his daddy and his child. Because see, he doing dirt, and this child over here is possible. You know it's possible to have a dark-skinned baby, but now, she little, so look like she ain't been prepped yet. This little girl over here, look where his hand is at. He touching her in the thigh too. It's just her face is such a sexualized look. And then the question is, man, is you touching your little boys too? But I guess not. Just your girls, but you're a sick-ass nigga. Now, let's talk about the history of the black man and the black family going back in the early 1900s, down with even with Elijah Muhammad touching on them young girls. His girls was a little older than this, but let's talk about the secret in the black family where the black men at one time was drunks and alcoholics. Not all, but a good portion of them that was messing with their own daughters and touching on their nieces, you know what I'm saying, touching on their kids. And then nobody said nothing in the family. Mama stayed with him, and she knew he was touching on them girls. But she didn't do nothing about it. Why? Because she didn't want to lose her man. See, black man is a lot of things. He a piece of shit, this guy. But he can't do this shit unless she allowing it. It's not possible that if she took this picture and she go back and she got this, but they put it on Facebook. You know what the fuck going on. You a woman, your daughter's legs shouldn't be open like that at like 7, 8, 9. But you allowing this shit though. First of all, as a man, my daughter don't even sit between my legs or on my lap. Better yet, I wouldn't dare touch her right there. Because if I touch her in those areas, then what happen with other men that she meet touching in those areas? She gonna think it's fine. But look how sick this shit is. So black man the problem, but he with a black woman who's still with him. This is what I mean when I be talking in the day, when I always be running my mouth and saying at the end of the day, black man only do most of the time what you gonna allow him to fuck to do. You know what I'm saying? And that's how I tell a lot of niggas is living in your spots. You know what I'm saying? And this man can't touch these girls over and over again unless you naive, don't care to listen, or you just so in love that you want your nigga. But see, this go back to the lack of understanding on both ends, you know what I'm saying? It ain't a lot of stories that we don't hear about them of single fathers dating black women who molesting little boys. We don't hear those stories. It happens. But not like in the manner that it happens in our community. But y'all watch this shit, right? Now let me read some of these comments. It says it's something about they leg open and hand on thighs that's making me cringe. Look at his hand placement. I heard hell is a serious need for workers. Send his mama there for eternity. It only got some of the comments, so many. Sorry, y'all. But the issue with this whole picture is that it's being allowed. And even if she's working all day and not paying attention, if she see this picture and she's paying attention, tell me how this made it online. See, it's funny, these toxic ass niggas, black women want them. Them toxic ass street niggas who in the streets who got this money doing all that, don't give a fuck about nobody but they niggas. Money over hoes, y'all want them niggas. Y'all be dying, y'all be not even taking care of y'all kids to go chase these niggas. These fucked up ass niggas with a little money, supposed to be a pretty boy ass nigga, y'all lose your whole family and your religion for these niggas. But then you sit back and say the problem is the lack of education on both ends. This is what I was saying this morning. I got a text this morning. When I hear women say, oh man, I feel like Kevin Samuels, he must have issues with women. He ain't had no more issues with women than women had with men. It's like if a black man got an opinion about a woman, oh, he got issues with women before, so he got an issue. But all of the shit that we hear y'all talk about, y'all exes, y'all baby fathers, y'all daddies, but if we say y'all got issues, oh, that don't count, or that's not why. But y'all choosing these pieces of shit. All the shit that women be talking about how they need a better man, but y'all choosing these type niggas. Y'all choose the niggas that become y'all baby fathers that don't take care of y'all kids. Y'all choose the niggas. Y'all choose these niggas because the question is, just like I tell men in their own right, y'all chose these women. This is the women y'all went after. But now when shit go wrong, it's his fault? No, it's not his fault. It's your fault too. It's not her fault. It's your fault too. See, when I hear black men talking about they woman and shit, certain shit, on certain levels, if I know you, I'm going to keep it funky with you. Like, nigga, you knew this from the beginning. When y'all niggas met, she was out here in the club every fucking day, but you figure like you can give her a baby and she gonna change. She not gonna change, my nigga. And today we need to be real. Yo, black women trifling as black man. Let's stop the misnomer. And the black man is trifling in his own right. And see, when I say the black man, I'm a black man. I ain't trifling, but at the same time, I'm not. If I see women going live talking about black men and they talking some truthful shit, I'm not going to get offended and get off their live or their feed and stop listening to them like women do on average. As a man, I know that black men as a whole don't represent completely what I represent. So I understand that I'm one of the exception rules. So I'm not going to sit up here and argue, make a point to try to defend the integrity of black women when deep down a black man for me. But when you know deep down inside that 85% of the women around you ain't shit. Or when I say that, or we know that 9 out of 10 our homeboys ain't shit. Right? But that's what I mean. That's why I said earlier in the conversation, you start talking this real shit. Anytime I have a conversation when I'm talking about black women, them numbers drop. But guess what? These numbers gonna drop, but y'all kids gonna die and they gonna drop, and y'all relationships gonna fail. Because until our people as together, men and women, realize they need to be re-educated, especially the black woman, she need to learn that she need to be re-educated about her history. She need to be re-educated about her relationship dynamics. She need to be re-educated about her communication. She need to be re-educated about the family structure. She need to be re-educated. The black man need to be re-educated in finance. He need to be educated in communication. He need to be re-educated in family structure. He need to be re-educated in being able to handle his woman when she's pregnant and postpartum. The black man needs to be re-educated as well. There's similarities that we both need to be educated in, and then there's certain obstacles like relationships and love we both need to be re-educated. But when it comes down to certain specifics, each child got its own specific. And so that's why I go so hard, and at the end of the day, like, it don't matter to me. All the women that watch my channel who got mad at me, who get mad at me, that just means that you need to grow up and you need to wake up and you need to realize that there's something bigger than that bullshit you own. Because I guarantee you, most of the people that got an issue and the women that got an issue when I be talking, you only exist in your hair, your nails, your titties, and your ass. You ain't got nothing else other than that to offer. And then at the end of the day, like we be trying to say, yo, you can make $29 an hour. It don't make you a good woman or man. You can put your kids in the best schools and get them everything they ever desired. It don't make you a good mother or father. Cause just because you bought them shit or because you financially stable don't make you a good parent. Right? But at the end of the day, we talk about this black brother right here. I go all day on him. My live will go up to 20 listeners. As soon as I start attacking her, black women gonna get in their feelings. That shit has to stop. So a lot of people was asking me yesterday or in a lot of interviews I've been doing, like, man, why you slow down the convo? Cause I got tired of the sick ass mindset that black women was bringing to my page. Like, I get up every morning, and it's not all y'all. See, the real black women fuck with me. That's why they be in my inbox. Cause see, if they had a daddy or a granddaddy that was 100 that own respect, then they feel me. But if you grew up in a household with all women and you didn't know and you never cared to challenge what you was taught, girl, these niggas like a man is more than his pocket of paycheck. And what you think you know about a man, that is not a man. I'm sorry that you keep picking up little boys with money or niggas that's boys that you think is a man because you watch too much fucking TV and you make these husbands. Or as men, we go and we find it's the same shit. Look, niggas who marry strippers and shit, I'll be like, yo, it's love, but at the end of the day, it speak on your character. Because the fact that mainstream made a woman that's a stripper, made her wifey material, I guess, so what does that make the women that's preserving their body and only for their husband? See, that's what we mean by Cardi B and all of them, Megan Thee Stallion and all that shit. All them fake ass women, they fake. I look on TV, y'all can't show me one black woman y'all can't show me one black woman rapper or damn near a celebrity that stand for something, especially the black women rappers. You go to showcases and I go to perform, it be niggas in there way more talented than some of these girls, but they get up there half-ass niggas, start twerking and the crowd go crazy. Remember, he can't do this shit without her. Epstein couldn't get all them girls without that white girl. So he can't molest these girls without her, especially since these are their kids. So where black women should be protecting her children from the predators, she in love with him. She naive because he probably pay all the bills and do all this other shit. But the mentality has been to attack the black man who ain't got no money or the ones that's like, in reality, the man that's gonna treat you good is the one that is the one that has to build his way up. He need understanding and patience the same way you do, right? But if as women, if y'all gonna be a hoe and y'all gonna say black man and shit, why the fuck is this going on? Cause this going on a lot more, but I don't hear complaining. Why spend all y'all time tearing black men down when y'all should be tearing down this shit? Y'all need to build and destroy your own households when it comes down to this. Right? Now, now the point of this whole shit is that as sad as this is, this shit going on more than not. And I feel sorry for these 4 black girls right here. But that's the issue. It's a lot of shit. I be seeing brothers like, it's like the issue I see black women, they be having a bad life and then they look at their sons and they be like, I'm living for him. Now, respectfully, I get your point. Don't get offended with me because I got to be real with y'all. But regardless if you get offended with me, I'm going to speak. When we look at this, spend your time and energy properly. Black women, stop protecting these women that ain't standing up, and that's the issue. It's like my goal is, as the same way I tell my mom, I see black women. At the end of the day, y'all stand together. Y'all goal is to protect the dignity of the black woman, regardless if it's at the detriment of the black man. Y'all gonna preserve the rights of a black woman. So y'all have to respect that I'm a man. And so I'm going to preserve the rights of the black man, especially the righteous ones. He ain't a righteous nigga, but neither is she. And we keep making it seem like the men are the problem. Men and women are the problem. You love Father God, but you have no respect for your husband. That makes no sense. You respect your boss. Your boss tell you what the fuck to do, but you don't respect your husband because they told you it was money. Come on, man. That's why I'm in y'all ass every morning about this conversation. Either you accountable or you not. Everything else extra to me.
is that if you see a person who has decided that they are gay, now some of the people that decide that they're gay, they go and take hormones so that they can grow hair on their face like a dude, or they get shots so they can grow breasts and everything. And then some people just take on a new idea. And then their whole body, their whole swagger starts to conform to that idea. And we see it right in front of our faces. We say, Dad, last time I seen her, she was a chick, now she a stone dude. She didn't have no surgery. She didn't take no hormone shots. It's just whatever idea you get, it'll start to manifest itself. That's how powerful your brain is. It'll get with whatever your idea is. We see dudes and say, boy, he sure look like a thug. That's his idea. And we can recognize it on them. We see people that look dangerous. We see that on them, and we can recognize that. You know, so we're very unique. And just like the snowflakes and our fingerprints, everybody's tongue print is different. Every human being on the earth, you got different fingerprints from everybody else. You got a different tongue print. Just like every snowflake, every grain of sand. This is how God made that, so that we could be unique, each individual, with many of the same needs. But we all really do have a uniqueness about ourselves that we can be proud of. Now, not getting along, I want to let you know, is a luxury. You don't get along, it's a luxury. And there's several things required for you to have the luxury of not getting along and with fussing and fighting with your mate. It requires you to have a stable source of income for food and shelter, because you ain't worried about what you're going to eat, where you're going to sleep. You got that, so I got time to fuss. It requires for you to be in pretty good health, because you got to have strength to bring up all that negativity. You got to have strength to do that. You got to be able to take a stand. So, you know, you have to be able to do that. And it requires us to think that we have options. You know, men and women, they like a bus. Miss one, catch another. Well, I got news for y'all. That train has already left the station. It's not like that was. And it requires that we think that we have time. We can mess up, start all over, mess up, apologize, and this will just go on forever. We don't have that time anymore. What we have is just some basic major relationship problems, and they have been the same ones that we have had for the last 134 years. We 17 generations up from slavery, and many of our problems remain the same.
You heard what she said? She said we 17 generations away from slavery, and yet we still got the same mental fucking issues as they did when they left slavery. I could understand them because they had to go find their families and learn how to love and trust and believe that they won't gonna get sold or they won't gonna lose their kids. But 17 generations later, we still got the same fucking problems we got today. And it makes me sick to my stomach when I hear black women talking like they their grandmothers. You don't live in the 40s and 50s, so please shut up. And it hurt my heart when I hear black men talking about this and that, but like, nigga, you not even trying, and you ain't even committed yourself to even be there through the good and the bad. Of course this shit gonna be rough, so you shut the fuck up as well. So I hear a bunch of complaining, but the truth is, all black people full of shit. Black woman, you gonna be miserable because at the end of the day, you think that you can keep fucking over a black man or get an attitude when you wrong and go fuck him and go get you a new one. Fuck him, go get you a new one, because you ain't never had to pay for your accountability for fucking over a couple niggas. You just go find you a new one. Black man keep going fucking over black women and go find him another one. Got 2-3 women at the same time, he go find him another one. But at the end of the day, both of them motherfuckers be miserable, disease carrying, nothing they got, upset, mad at everybody else.
I have a book called Are You Still a Slave? It's a test book. It lets you take a test and answer certain questions to determine how much of a slave are you still acting like even without a slave master. Since they put this into us, it's a lot of stuff we just on automatic. And we're the first people to say, well, you know, that's just how I feel. No, it's not. These are things that they put into us. And they certainly put into us not to get along with each other. That makes them the winner. In every civilization, on every continent, among every mammal, when the female mammal has to forage for food, fight and protect the nest, bear the children alone, and do all of those things, it makes her naturally hostile to the male mammal.
Do y'all hear what she just said? So this is the second time this week. So everybody who been running their mouth at me and acting like I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about, all these people that got an issue, right? And I'm coming at it aggressively for a reason. We just heard one person, you heard Candace Owens said she read a book by somebody who studied nature and said all the answers is outside. Same shit I said. Niggas said I was crazy for comparing everything to the animals. That's just how far the fuck off we are from reality. Right? Because we want to believe like the Europeans that we better than animals. No, we actually below them because they still got their families and they ain't got these issues the fuck we got. And they get put in slavery and zoos and same shit. But what did she just say? She said when in nature, when a female animal has to do the hunting, provide, and do it all by herself, she becomes hostile. So the state that black women live in today is not your normal state. You live in hostility. And it's against your natural nature.
Slave, or you still acting like even without a slave master? Since they put this into us, it's a lot of stuff we just on automatic. And we're the first people to say, well, you know, that's just how I feel. No, it's not. These are things that they put into us. And they certainly put into us not to get along with each other. That makes them the winner. In every civilization, on every continent, among every mammal, when the female mammal has to forage for food, fight and protect the nest, bear the children alone, and do all of those things, it makes her naturally hostile to the male mammal.
Not only that, but remember earlier when we talk about the idea, how the idea of the mind manifests itself. So once the idea of, like, when it comes down to black people or black women and black men, once the idea, oh, I don't need a man, it manifests itself. But it's against nature. Because that whole ideology, that's why I say that we talk about chauvinism, but I always speak about the women's movement, which is just as harsh. But it's the fact of the matter that if you believe that you can live your life without a man as a woman and think that you can run this shit right, then I think you have a problem. If you think as a man that you can live your life without a woman, then I think you have a problem, right? Now, I do have people that's gay that I'm close friends with. I guess in this situation, being real with y'all, this conversation, I'm speaking to more of the heterosexual base because that's what I am. So, you know, as a man, I'll say this. I can't relate to certain subjects because I don't date men. You feel me? I ain't never dated men. I'm only interested in women. So the dynamics that I'm speaking about, I can't make this relatable. You know what I'm saying? It's not my job because I'm a heterosexual man. But what is important is the fact of the matter is that idea that the black woman has of what the fuck she think a man is and what he's supposed to do, it's a fucking idea. You feel me? And this is the thing I've been pushing. You, as women, y'all like, that man need to do, a man need to do. That's what you assume a man needs to do. You never seen one in your life, most of y'all. It's an idea that was planted. Your mama planted an idea. Girl, this nigga supposed to do this. But she planted seeds that she didn't even know what type of fruit. It's like we find a bunch of seeds and I give them to my kids and I'm about to pass and I say, look, I'm about to leave this earth. I want you to plant these seeds. And when I'm gone, they're going to grow food. But I have no fucking idea what food or if this is even a plant that I can eat. It's an idea. It's not the truth.
Because she feels abandoned. Well, we have abandonment issues. It makes many of our men feel entitled to do anything they want to do, and we're supposed to go along with it. They put a lot of confusion into us that have made us bring that confusion even down into the world, into our children. And we have set them up for failure in their relationships because they're not doing what we tell them, they're doing what they see. And if they don't see us getting along, if they don't see our men respecting our women, they don't see our women respecting our men, then this is what they're going to practice.
So for all the women in my convos when I be speaking and they have something to say, at the end of the day, if you got a husband or you got a boyfriend, right? And you got kids and this nigga in your house with him, and you second guessing this man, when he come to you and tell you that these kids ain't listening and you got an attitude, or whenever you got a child and this man live with you that's not the biologicals, and because you uncomfortable and the shit you scared of, you put off on that man, you won't allow this shit to happen. So whether if it's your son or your daughter, and it mostly happen in black families when it comes down to like their sons. a woman and her son because she lost, their fathers did her wrong, her father did her wrong, all these other men did her wrong, so she gonna put her faith in her black son. That's the most ignorant shit in the world. This little boy can't do shit for you, and he ain't even mentally at the point. You love him because he love you a certain way, but he love you out of his ignorance. He love you because you his mama, and he gonna love you in a manner that ain't no man ever gonna love you that manner because he ain't come out your fucking body. He came out his mama body. So the love you get from your son and the love you get from your man, two different loves. But if we can't chastise your son in certain manners, then what the fuck can we do? See, I want y'all to understand this on a deeper level. Then what can we do? Because if we arguing in the shit that you saying to me and your attitude, and I'm trying to get you to beat them and listen to me, and you not doing it when I ask you, that child, that little boy, that little girl sees this shit. And what happens is they're going to start responding and acting like you. If you always got an attitude rolling your fucking eyes, then after a while, when that man speaks to them kids, they're going to roll their eyes and catch attitudes too. See, the apple don't fall far from the fucking tree. He ain't got my personality if I'm the dad or the stepdad. He got mama personality because that's the person that he go to for help. Just like when a girl, if her father is there and he is a righteous man or a good daddy, when mama do the wrong thing, she run to her father, right? But see, y'all don't know nothing about that because nature you wasn't supposed to go run to your mother, black woman. Your connection ain't with your mother. First of all, women don't even get the fuck along. And half the time, y'all don't even get along with y'all mamas right until y'all get older and stop y'all bullshit. Y'all start smelling y'all pussies when y'all get 15, 14, 16, 17. Y'all think y'all more woman than y'all mama. So like she said, socialization teach kids. It ain't what you tell them. All of my black women and black men that tell their kids to do better, like don't be like me, don't drink. Feel me? Don't sniff cocaine. You feel me? All the black women that done brought 8, 9 different niggas in their house every year. You know what I'm saying? All this shit. I don't give a fuck what you tell your daughter. She gonna act like you. Because you was slutty and she gonna bring... So either she got one or two choices. She gonna resent you for bringing all them men at home and she gonna make sure as a woman that she ain't gonna do that shit. Or she gonna accept it. Because it doesn't matter what you say out your mouth. It's what you do. If you say I love my man, but you don't listen to him and you don't take advice, and you're not one of them people that's able to see that a man has a function as far as discipline and his authority with his voice, and I prove it for everybody that got an issue. The study of children. When women speak, babies act a certain way. I see black women with babies all the time, and when they speak, them babies be little boys talk back to their moms. Tell me I'm lying. Hey, sit down. Wait. When I'm ready, mom, right? Black women by themselves are just as bad as white women raising kids. That's where we are today. Our mothers and them used to whoop ass. Y'all ain't whooping no ass. And remember I told y'all, for everybody in my feed, when you start talking the truth, see how my numbers go low? That's why our community fucked up. That's why don't nobody want to be with black women. That's why don't nobody fuck with y'all on a mental level. And at the end of the day, that as black men, we don't feel like that we can build a culture with y'all. That's why black men don't trust y'all. That's why as a black man with a brain, why the fuck would we waste our time with black women? But then y'all get mad at us when we go mess with a white woman who, even if she ain't completely right, which I don't mess with white women, but at least she's smart enough to sit there and hear him out. The white women understand that the white man don't give a fuck about her and don't give her no voice. The black woman too worried about power on average, and she don't see the respect that she do get and the little shit she do get. But more importantly, you control the door. A nigga can't have no ass unless you give it to him. But my numbers, see how we go from 10, 12 listeners to 3 when I start talking shit? Grow up.
We have a problem with fidelity and jealousy. That's really, we have a problem about lying. We especially charge our men with lying. That's a serious thing, this lying issue. We want y'all, when we ask you a question, we want y'all to testify. We want the truth and nothing but the truth. So help you, I'm gonna nag you forever about it. So this is something that we do to try to get to it. We say, well, if you had just told me you didn't want to be with me no more, then I could have handled it. That's a lie. Don't no man in here need to believe that. Okay? That is never going to be the truth. I mean, what is our man supposed to do? Say, listen, baby, I done met somebody I like better than you. We had better sex than me and you. She got a good job. She got a car. She ain't got but one child. And so I don't want to be with you no more. How is that going to go over? Well,
So that's what they mean by a woman can't handle the truth. The statement is not about saying a woman isn't intelligent. It's saying that at the end of the day, and I'm gonna give y'all real shit. As a man, I done been in a situation. You could be open with a woman from the beginning and say like, this is what da 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 da, and women will agree to some of this shit early on because they got an objective for you, or they feel like they can change you, or they got a plan for you and they can whatever. But then in the future, if you say like, look, yo, this is what I'm doing. I'm messing with you. I'm messing with you, and I like both of y'all da 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 da. Yo, more than likely, both of them, or it might be one out the group that's mature enough who looking at this shit from a perspective in any way that she can digest it. But that shit ain't gonna help you. Because that's why they say it's not an assault, it's saying a woman can't handle the truth. But at the same time, Shahrazad said that a woman always want a man to tell her the truth. Like my father said, this say, tell the truth, be a man. Ain't no statements to tell a woman to tell the truth. Right? It don't exist.
We gonna say, well, yeah, listen, thank you, brother. I'm glad you told me. You know? That's not how it's gonna go. So when we put our man in a position where he can't bring the truth, and then when you won't tell us a lie, then we get very angry. Because we want you to testify. Now, testify was a word that used to be used in the Roman courts. And if a man wanted to tell the truth about something, then he would swear on his testicles. Now we know the last thing y'all gonna do is to swear on those. Okay?
That's the origin of testify. Testy, man's body. Phi, right? Prefix, suffix, science. All words come with a prefix. Testy, so that means what she said. That's where the origins of testify come from. The men would swear on their testicles.
So perhaps sometime our expectation about some of these things might be a little bit outrageous because we have so many insecurities. You know, if you go outside the door, where you going, when you be back, who you gonna be with? How long you gonna be gone? Who you gonna be standing with? How much money you gonna spend? Who did you see? Well, what happened while you was there? What did he say? You know, we better than the FBI. And that's an unreal expectation. You know, see, there are a lot of lofty ideas that we can talk about relationships, but we have to deal with some basic principles that we still haven't got straight. And people tell me all the time when I go out, they say, you know, I really like that sister because she down to earth. Well, hey, we live on the earth. This is where we have to be, down to this earth. This is the only planet we got life on that we know of. We live right here on this earth. And these are earthen issues that we are dealing with. And as sisters, we need to, this is a really serious issue. We need to stop going so crazy and berserk if we find out that perhaps our man has made a mistake or did it intentionally, was with another woman. I mean, it's not like you alone. Every one of us women in here done had a man that was with somebody else. Because there ain't no such man that's going to be with no one woman for his entire 75-year life.
Hey, it's funny she say 75 years because she understand black woman lives longer than black man. Black man in a healthy state doesn't live as long as his woman. Especially, well, black man that's not healthy, should I say. In reality, the woman lives longer. It's proven. But then you add stress and all of the other shit that black men carry with him. He dying at 55, 45, 50.
Now, that's the reality that we're dealing with. That ain't the one we want to deal with. But that's the reality of it. It's no such a man. If it was such a man, me and my sister Kitty would have it.
She said there's no such man that could be with one woman their whole existence. And that's part of that is about the ideology. It's almost impossible. Nobody ever wants to hear this true facts about 200,000 more women born a year than men. There's not enough Adams for every Eve. So then we need to start asking nature, well then, if man was made to be with woman by herself, why is he not like the foxes and the birds who can only be one person? If man, especially black man, the original man, if there's too many women, how the fuck does every woman have children and a husband? To have 200,000 more women born a year than men, that's a large scale. So that says in 5 years, there's 1 million more women than men, every 5 years. So in 20 years, there's 5 million more women on earth So is it the fact that black man is such a dog, or is it the fact that black woman has bought into the ideology of monotheism in all forms? One God, one parent, right? One everything. It clearly can't work. If black man was supposed to be black woman's servant, why the fuck marriages, and if happy life, happy wife work, why the fuck marriages are not working? Because clearly that nigga ain't happy, and when he ain't happy, you happy, or you feel like you controlling me out here messing with other things. It's just too many women. The issue is that there's so many women. And then all the women on average has been with a man that had a woman. Like she said. So the reality is, we need to re-educate ourselves on what black man and black woman, as we call it, was doing before we were conquered. Say it again. As women and men, we need to figure out how did black men and black women live before they were conquered, before we got to put on them so-called slave ships or got conquered in America or whatever. What was we doing in Nubia? What was we doing in all of these African continents, including the Chinas and these other Middle East, before they would turn light-skinned like today? What were they doing? Ask yourself, why does the Muslim in the Middle East and the Hindu, why do they do the things they do? I've had conversations with them because they learned it from the black man and woman when we were living in a better state. You want to know how we live? Look at the other cultures that got organization. You think that Hispanic women and men don't got their problems? Hell yeah, they drink like hell. They got problems. You think the Italian family ain't got problems? The only difference is in their cultures, their women are not being shoved down their throat, their movies and TVs and everything that you don't need this nigga. Independency. But independent, y'all become independent and powerful with the bag, but y'all still unhappy talking about what niggas don't do. If what's the point? If power is the goal, then why not just get the money? But getting the money and being powerful don't mean that your kid's gonna survive, because you as a mom by yourself or you as a father by yourself does not have the tools. And until you recognize that you don't have the tools by yourself to raise these kids properly, then we're gonna have a problem. And I'm not knocking single parents or parents of women who tried to make it work and them men really won't do shit. I'm not knocking you. But y'all need to realize that all the young girls acting like they y'all, and they not. A lot of them didn't even try to make it work with their niggas, or they felt like I'm good, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. See, black women and the black parents who still around, when their daughters do foul shit and cheat on their nigga, and they nigga be yelling at them all day, they go say their daughters instead of checking them and making them be accountable to their niggas.
So we have searched for that mystery guy, and he do not exist. And that doesn't mean that it's taking anything from you or me. It's not even about that. It's about the nature of us as two different people. Now, that's a personal decision, of course, that men make, but I just want to let the sisters know that's nothing we have to be ashamed of. Our grandmothers, our great-grandmothers, our mothers, us, everybody. We ain't never had no woman that had a man that wasn't never with nobody else. It doesn't exist. It is called, the messenger said, the imagination of truth. And it will get you in trouble with such great disappointment. You don't have to be ashamed. You're not telling nobody that ain't never heard of it. You know, say if I'm going out burning his clothes, tearing up his car, messing up everything that you didn't have to pay for, and then when you get over being mad, you're going to be back with him. So we need to not do that. It's just a waste of time. It's a waste of energy. And it gives us setbacks. Like I say, it's a luxury. You don't know when the last time is going to be. And you lose someone that really, really is.
Let me ask women a question who be watching me seriously. And I want y'all can write it on the board. What is the true expectation that y'all have for men when y'all date them, right? And do y'all really care about the emotions and the feeling that this person has other than, because this is the thing that when I listen and really like, it be like, I know a lot of women and they'll say stuff like, you know, we got this baby and, you know, I'm doing this and this and he think giving me this amount of money is enough, or this and that is enough. It's like the question is, before we had children, why the fuck wasn't this thought about? Before, because a man gonna always hit that ass if you gonna open your legs. So why are these things not established before? It's like we having fun at first, and then this baby come and everything's serious, and then a woman don't understand that a man be like, hold the fuck up. I didn't, you know. It's like have them same type of standards early on, because you are you control the door. You have to open your legs before we can penetrate. But when I sit out here and I constantly hear like how a man need to do this and he do that, I don't disagree that men need to do some of these things. But then I always ask the question is like, you know, I say, well, that's wrong. That logic is wrong. You know what I'm saying? He a man. He need to provide for me because I'm a woman and I'm not even supposed to be working. And that same ideology, the reason why niggas don't respect it. Because at the end of the day, we equal. Y'all fought for equal rights, right? Say that with me. Equal rights. Equal mean when I'm at work, I used to get an argument with women when I used to work at some job. I used to tell them like, yo, I help you a couple of days, but every day you're not gonna come to me and ask me to lift this box. You work this job too, right? So they ask you on the application, can you lift this much? So I don't mind helping you, but I'm not gonna make my job harder every day just to help you. You're not my wife. You're not my woman. We just work together. You know what I'm saying? Now it's the thing of being polite and then somebody taking advantage. But equal rights mean that you fought for equality now. You wanted to be treated equal, right? So why the fuck y'all don't think black men want the same thing? You think we want to come in there and get a relationship with you, and as soon as we have a baby by you, we want you to become our mother and tell us what to do? No, you ain't going out with your homeboys. You gonna stay in here. Or you da-da-da-da. No, hell no, we ain't grown as hell. You spend more time, black women, spend less time trying to tell black men what the fuck to do and trying to control him. We got a mama. And tell your fucking badass kids to do what the fuck they supposed to do and whoop their ass instead of trying to chastise us.
Dear to you and someone that you love. Now, the second problem we have is about some of our men don't have no job. Now, that's a real issue because we need money, we want money, you know. Now, last year we spent about $13 billion on our fingernails. So we could probably do with a little less money. We spent another $23 billion on our hair. $10 billion of that was on our fake hair. Okay? So we could probably...
Hold up. Listen.
And that's a real issue because we need... And you lose someone that really, really is dear to you and someone that you love. Now, the second problem we have is about some of our men don't have no job. Now, that's a real issue because we need money, we want money, you know. Now, last year we spent about $13 billion on our fingernails. So we could probably do with a little less money. We spent another $23 billion on our hair. $10 billion of that was on our fake hair. Okay? So we don't have spent money, but we have a problem sometimes if a man can't afford to do those things for us. And, there's a lot of people living in the world that make $200 a year. There's some people don't make the $75 a month. They still there. They not eating like we eating and everything. They not overweight either. They don't have diabetes and everything we got. But nevertheless, there are people who live with much less than we do. And certainly we all want to have a man who has a visible means of legal support. Okay, we all want to have that. But we can't completely judge our men by the same standard that the white woman judged her man, because her man ain't never been repressed. Okay? Many of our men are out of work because they just too depressed and they can't work or don't want to work. And then you got a lot of our men who are out of work because the white people in charge of the jobs won't give them an opportunity or a job.
And then we got a lot of men that's geniuses that got shit. Like, I always ask black women that got men that might be inventors, builders, painters, whatever. How real of a woman are you really? Are you willing to help your man? You see he got a passion and shit. You willing to invest in that paint with him? And when he draw them beautiful paintings you like, take him to work and share them to all your friends and your bosses and see if you can help sell them? Are you willing to invest in that? Black man did not work for anybody before slavery. And when we had civilizations, we had jobs and roles we played. But the black man, what you need to first recognize as a woman is psychologically everything in our body, just like how everything in a woman's body say, I don't got to listen to no nigga, because she know, because like I say, we know that y'all been around longer than men. It's the same thing to black man when we see jobs and work the way that they want us to work it, that feels like slavery. And then on top of being enslaved, we got to come home and take the slavery money and give it to our wife, or we're a fucked up nigga. So now we got two chains, one on our neck and one on our nuts. Right? So, and then in our society, because our mamas ain't married or, our sisters ain't married and shit, then we got to wear the burden of that too.
This is not magic. And then they'll give more to us, And then we start tripping and start thinking, I don't know why you can't get no job. I got one. It's not like that.
You hear that? But nobody want to hear that shit.
Depressed or they can't work or don't want to work. And then you got a lot of them who are out of work because the white people in charge of the jobs won't give them an opportunity or a job. This is not magic. And then they'll give more to us. And then we start tripping and start thinking, I don't know why you can't get no job. I got one. It's not like that. With many of us, we take the position with our man where any job is better than no job. But that's not the position of a man. Men take the position where no job is better than any job. They have a different standard. They have a different ego. And no matter what we think we can feel and experience, we do not know what it's like to be a black man in America. The little tiny glimpse that I got almost make me want to cry all day. Because it's so unfair to our man. And the best success that this country can have is to use us as a tool against the black man. They're already against him. See, they protected their woman for all those years. If you mess with a white woman at one time, they would kill you. They protected her. But see, ain't nobody never protected us. And so being free for all out here, they have felt that it was okay for them to be able to come in and give us the things that they keep our men from giving us so that they can be our man. And we even call him the man. I'm going to call the man. Yeah, the man called him. Well, we talking about the white man. Well, you are man. And we need to return that title to him. We need to try to be more respectful. Even if he don't respect himself, we need to try to respect him.
The same thing that women say about men, that even if a woman doesn't respect herself, men need to respect a woman for being a woman.
That's a hard instruction. Because we know things. But that we really have to practice that. We really have to try to practice just how to be respectful. Since we know that he's not the only damaged goods, we damage goods too. It doesn't mean it necessarily has to hold us back, but we do live in a society where we have more opportunities and more benefits. All we have to do is get pregnant, and the white man will give us a house, a place to live in, health insurance, pharmacy coverage, daycare, food stamps, rent coverage, and everything else. A black man can't get nothing unless he damage goods. We damage goods too. It doesn't mean it necessarily has to hold us back, but we do live in a society where we have more opportunities and more benefits. All we have to do is get pregnant, and the white man will give us a house, a place to live in, health insurance, pharmacy coverage, daycare, food stamps, rent coverage, and everything else. A black man can't get nothing unless he done lost his job. He can get some unemployment for a while. But since most of y'all ain't even had no job, you eliminated from that access. So it's not fair. It really is not right how it's set up. And I want you to understand that. And so those things keep us from wanting to be with a man. Because we say, he ain't got nothing. Well, we wouldn't have nothing either if they weren't trying to use us against him.
Deep part. If y'all didn't get child support, WIC, right? Medicaid, EBT, housing, y'all would be in the same position we feel. See, y'all not as vulnerable. As a woman, her point was that when a woman, all she gotta do is get pregnant and she get food, she get shelter, she get pharmacy care, right? She get everything. They lay it out for a daycare coverage, right? So that means that they're not, as a black woman, you can't be but so vulnerable because they're gonna help you. A black man, there's no help for this shit. So it's easy to be in your pride to say, oh, well, show me a nigga who ain't got an apartment. That shit be burning me up because I be thinking like 95% of you black women got y'all shit from the fucking white boys and social services. What nerve to make it seem like you established your own shit and walk around this planet like black man ain't shit, like you ain't had 16 handouts a year. We both had a child, so even if I pay child support every day, you claim the kids. Why don't the government let both of us claim them? We both made them. It's to keep us against each other.
place to live in, health insurance, pharmacy coverage, daycare, food stamps, rent coverage, and everything else. A black man can't get nothing unless he done lost his job. He can get some unemployment for a while. But since most of y'all ain't even had no job, you eliminated from that access. So it's not fair. It really is not right how it's set up. And I want you to understand that. And so those things keep us from wanting to be with a man. Because we say, he ain't got nothing. Well, we wouldn't have nothing either if they weren't trying to use us against him. It don't make us greater and better because we have been able to make a little bit of progress because we've had more support out here. Because they want to own our children. They want to make us totally dependent upon them. This hasn't changed. We haven't got that modern where that don't exist no more. We have to stop looking at our men as sex objects. Now that's a turn, isn't it? That's how come you have so many sisters that's disappointed because the only time they get along with their man is when they laying down. Once the man stand up, we don't want to be in it no more. He might tell us what to do or something. All bets are off. That's the deal breaker when you start trying to tell me what to do. You have so many sisters that's disappointed because the only time they get along with their man is when they laying down. Once the man stand up, we don't want to be in it no more. He might tell us what to do or something. All bets are off. That's the deal breaker when you start trying to tell me what to do. We have to look at it. We have to stop using our men like that. You know, when a rat get ready to mate, the female rat go and sniff around the male rat. She makes sure, first of all, that he don't have any imperfections so that she can get pregnant. He can't have polio, he can't have diabetes, high blood pressure. He can't have heart disease or none of that, or she don't deal with him. And the second thing he has to do is to be able to go someplace and make a nest for her. If he don't have a home for her, if he can't dig a hole somewhere for her, then she said, I can't be with you. I'm going to find me another rat. So it's not unreasonable if the female rat can practice that, it's not unreasonable for us as black women to require that. No, I can't get pregnant because you ain't got nowhere for me and the baby to sleep. Okay? No, I can't get pregnant because tomorrow I might be hungry and you ain't got no food for me. What we gonna eat? That's important. So we can require that. So we need to, when we see a brother and he's down, leave him there. Because if you pick him up and drag him up, he's going to leave you the first chance he gets. Because he want to be around somebody who thinks he was always up. That's how that...
It's deep. It's deep. She was saying that leave... A lot of women, that's when they say they see potential in a nigga. So that's what... Let's make it make sense. Women, you see potential in a nigga in the streets or somebody who really ain't got it. It don't mean that sometimes it works, but it's a small number. But you help him pick up, but when he start really seeing himself and get his confidence, he might not want to be under, and that's very shallow as a man. I can't front on that. That's some shallow, weak ass nigga shit. But I can't help but to see the truth in it. This is what I mean when I talk to women and I'm live, give me the same respect that I give y'all. Because I'm real with myself. And when a woman says something that makes sense, I'm going to swallow that motherfucker whole. Because the only way that I can grow as a man, a black man, to be better for a black woman is to hear her disappointment and her problems and to see what the fuck she sees and digest this shit and get rid of the things that's non-nutrient for me and reapproach it and teach my sons and tell my homeboys about it who I can. Right? But remember, even though she used the rat, she used the animal. Here we go when I say the animals are the foundations of all of the animals on the planet have rules and principles.
What we gonna eat? That's important. So we can require that. So we need to, when we see a brother and he's down, leave him there. Because if you pick him up and drag him up, he's gonna leave you the first chance he gets. Because he wanna be around somebody who thinks he was always up. That's how that works.
And mainly because the woman that thinks he was always up, she gonna treat him differently. Think about it psychologically in this situation. A woman picked you up, helped you get to your point, and then you get there. But maybe that man felt like, man, she always gonna look at me as this lesser man because of what she did for me, right? So they meet a woman outside because they got their problems now. He in a better place. And she deals with him from a submissive standpoint because she like, he got the money, he got this, he got everything that the rest of these niggas don't got. She's not aware of that somebody helped them build it. But that's just like with a woman. She got a lot now, but what about the men that helped her build to that? When she meet she might not want, just like a woman, she might not want to keep feeling like she's under this man because he helped her grow her up and helped her get her first stuff, da-da-da-da. But then she meet a nigga that's like, yo, you got everything, and he treat her the way that she want to be treated, the way that she always wanted to be treated. Like she's the queen, like, cause she already got it. She'll trade you out. He'll trade you out.
You can't make no man. You can't get with no man who ain't got nothing. Buy him some shoes, buy him a coat and a hat, and then when you get mad, want to take it back. You can't buy no man. If you want to make a man, you have to do it with your own son, your nephew, your cousin, a boy in the community. You can take a little child and try to grow him up, but you can't take no grown man and turn him into a man. That's a waste of time. And any investment you make, you will fail.
And that's vice versa. We can't change no woman, and she too old. We got to change our daughters, our nieces, right? It's maybe our sisters if they look up to us and respect us. Same shit.
That's just the truth of that. And it's going to be hard because they be needing so much. Show up, ain't got no underwear, ain't got no socks. Just whatever it is, okay? Leave him alone. He'll get some. I guarantee you, he'll get some if he want to be with you. We set the standard. And if there ain't no standard, then he don't live up to nothing.
That's facts. See, men, I'm a man, and as strong of a mind I am, I know deep down inside that I still need a woman to keep me in order in certain ways. Just in general. Just like how our mothers would. Black men is powerful, and even the men with their mind together. A woman needs direction, so that means she needs to be told what to do. They teach that in college. Women need direction. So it's not telling her what to do completely like control, but sometimes she does need to be told what to do. Black man is powerful and strong as hell, but his muscles don't always equate to his brain. And even the intelligent niggas, we still need to be checked and told and pointed in the right direction by a woman. We both have the same sickness, but we both think that we ain't sick. And we look at each other and say, nah, she's sick. Nah, nigga, you sick. And then you look at him and oh, that old girl, he's sick. And your homegirl need to tell you, nah, you sick. Because the only two type of motherfuckers that get together and have problems is two sick motherfuckers, right?
Because they want to be with us, whatever it costs, whatever it takes, they want to be with us. But if we make that so simple and so easy that no matter what, we'll just accept that and go along and, you know, just to go to bed with him. You know, in your entire life, you only spend about 2.5 hours having a climax. That's all total. Whatever you done told yourself, it's a lie. It's 2.5 hours. Okay? So that little bit of time is not as important as all the other aspects of the relationship. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Don't nobody break up over sex. People break up over issues like you didn't close the bathroom door. You didn't put the seat down. I'm tired of sweeping the floor. How come you don't help me fold the clothes? Anything. We break up over that. You come in too late. Well, where's the rest of your money? How come you gave your mama some money? I mean, we break up over all of those kind of things. We don't break up over sex. So it's a value, but it's not the value that we have placed on it. It's not the only thing to do. Just got something to talk about. Some kind of aspirations.
And all my black men watching her, when she stand for us and she speak real to the women, so as a black man, take both. Don't just like it when she stand up for you, take the jab too, because she gonna keep it funky.
Some kind of goal. And you might even need to have good credit. That's the new criteria now. I don't want to see your HIV card, I want to see your credit report. Now, if we just base it on that, we know ain't none of us gonna be together. We may as well not not even try to have a relationship if it's going to be based on credit. Because we just found out about that 135 years. Nobody never taught us about no credit. It's really sad, but this is where we are. We got to look at where we are and stop tripping, pretending we someplace else, because that's where white people are, or because that's where they set the standard. We got to start where we are to make the change and to make an improvement. It has to be what we are doing. And raising our children, that's an issue. Over 60% of the black babies in Philadelphia are aborted. That's probably very similar here in D.C., because this is a nationwide phenomenon. White people trying to have babies, we're trying to kill ours. Now, there's simple remedies for some of that. If you don't want to have no baby, don't get pregnant. Don't have unprotected sex. Now, many of our young girls now are using abortion as birth control. They have 5 and 6, 7 in a year. We have so many unwed mothers. And we have something that's never talked about. We have so many unwed fathers. Because it still does take the two people. We do not have an immaculate conception among black people. It's the men and the women that make the baby. We have to deal with how we're rearing our children. We have to stop trying to give them everything we think we didn't have as a child. You want to make peace with something.
That's one of the main problems I see amongst the black community and black women, right? That's one of the main problems. It's how do I tell black women? This is why I was getting cussed out last year. This would make me kind of fall back because I realized that women didn't want to be corrected. How in the world do we fix any problems if we can't speak to you? Right? How? I mean, let me go back a little bit.
People. It's the men and the women that make the baby. We have to deal with how we're rearing our children. We have to stop trying to give them everything we think we didn't have as a child.
Boom. How do I tell women, like when I was out and I was having conversations saying like when we bottom everything that we didn't have, see, we forgot that struggle is the best teacher. Sometimes the things that we did not have was the things that built our character to who we are today and why we know how to survive. When I see that black women are so focused, no offense, but truth, and it is what it is, so focused on buying them Christmas and all of this stuff and to make them feel good, that I forgot to discipline and to teach them how to have character, right? But I see kids with all the toys in the world, but their mouth is disrespectful and they have no self-control and no discipline structure. So we so focused on celebrating Christmas, and I don't give a fuck what you believe, but ain't nothing godly about Christmas, right? I still be having to argue with my family. I don't celebrate holidays, but let me know Christmas. Oh, that nigga cheap. Look how sick we are, right? But as women, y'all feel like y'all can buy these toys or all of this stuff y'all didn't have, all these clothes, and it's gonna do something. You just creating fucking monsters and spoiled brats who the world can't tell shit.
You want
Make them earn their shit is my point. When we was growing up, my first pair of Jordans I bought myself, but my mom still bought me nice shoes. But she won't buy me Jordans and all that other shit. Now my dad, he'd get it, but I was balling. I had scholarships on the table, right? But it's two different households. Buying them with what you felt like you didn't have will not equate to them living a great life. All you did was fuck up your finances to keep them happy. But black people spend all this money on Christmas and be broke instead of buying a fucking house or instead of buying some land. The same money black people spend on Christmas, if all black people bought land, what's the issue? And we wonder why they call us children.
to make peace with somebody, make it with yourself. Don't use the child like that and confuse them, so that they grow up thinking that they are what they own. And you're not what you own. You who you are. It has nothing to do with what some white people and some Asians made, because everything we got come from them. So we can't let that be the standard of who, we think that we are. It was a merry-go-round we used to have our children on, but now this thing is moving so fast, it's like a roller coaster. We can't keep up. We can't teach them that the brand name clothes is more important than their math test. We can't neglect the children in the name of I'm working to take care of you. Those things have to go hand in hand. And it's almost...
But that is what's missing. Black woman, you powerful as hell right now. All y'all that watch me that got all them jobs and all independent and shit, right? Stop making excuses. Your success doesn't equate to you being a mother. Let that resonate.
Better if you let your child sit with his daddy on the curb who ain't got no job than we as women keep sitting in the house talking about we can raise a boy alone. We can feed them alone and clothe them alone, but we can't raise them alone. We don't know how to make no man, or all of us would have a man. So we know we got some kind of problem up in there in that area of trying to deal with, how we gonna get along or be with a man. And then we see a lot of grown men, and we go out with them, we say, you know what, I ain't going out here no more. He is so silly. Well, he didn't get grown and get silly. He was silly when he was a little boy, and didn't nobody interfere and interrupt and help him.
That ain't me. For everybody watching, that's her cameraman changing that camera.
So we have to take a position that, okay, if we don't be a mother, then we can deal with our girls. And everybody in America see the condition, mostly black girls. And we're big girls. And they're not in good condition, most of them. We've got waylaid with a lot of material things. We've got waylaid with sex. They whipped us into a frenzy with this whole sexual thing. That's the total goal. And we get all mixed up. And as a result of that, we're not making the relationship legacy that we want to make for the future. We're not showing the image good. And we also, on this argument thing, we have to let our men win some of the arguments. I know that sounds painful. But it's okay to let him win sometime. All you gotta do is grit your teeth and say, that's right, baby, you're right. Okay. We ain't gotta win every argument. You can be right, and you'll be right by yourself. Don't be right all the time. There's no winner in that. We don't give them an opportunity. Men, a father is not another mother. He's not going to discipline the child, talk to the child, or deal with him like we do. And every time our men try to say something different or teach them, tell the child something different, we got to protect him. Oh, no, don't you deal with him like that.
Right.
And then when he go up and have an identity crisis.
That's deep. I think all men will relate to this topic. When I sit around a lot of black men and we talk, that's something they speak on. Is that.
We don't give them an opportunity. Men, a father is not another mother. He's not going to discipline the child, talk to the child, or deal with him like we do.
And that's the issue. You have been told that you have the right to tell us how to deal with them, but nature of God made us completely different. We feel like y'all too sensitive on them. Y'all make excuses for the little black boys and hold your daughter super accountable. Go clean it, right? But when we try to put our hand, oh, you ain't gonna do that to him or da-da-da-da-da-da, you need to mind your business. And you need to allow me to do my job so he don't go out here and destroy some other woman in this world that somebody took their time to raise her. And make sure that this motherfucker got his character together or vice versa. But we're the fact that women think that we're wrong because it's a reason why we don't take as much bullshit as you do. Y'all keep your jobs, y'all take so much bullshit. Let's be honest. Y'all can take a lot more pain and hurt than the black man can. We ain't built like that. But when it comes down to them children, we gonna take a lot less shit from them.
And every time our man try to say something different, or teach them, tell the child something different, we got to protect him. Oh no, don't you deal with him like that. And then when he go up and have an identity crisis, or by the time he's about 12 or 13 and out of hand, then we want to call the father and say, you better come and get him. See, this thing is repetitive. This is not just going on today. This is what's been going on for the past 50 years. Since the oncoming of new black millionaires, of the material items and the technology advancing where you have all these material things. All of that has created that for us, so that we're not even real with the people that we be with. We manufacture some kind of personality, so when we meet somebody, we can think we're somebody else. And then after about 60 days, when the sexual attraction wears off, and you start meeting that real person, you decide, I don't like them at all. Who is that? Who are you? You know. Listen, baby, you're gonna have to go. This is how it works. It's more lies told in the first 2 and 3 weeks of any relationship than at any other time in your life. Now you're talking about some humongous lies, some gigantic misrepresentations about what you got, who you are, what you drive, where you work, what your history is, everything. We just lie because we want to make a good impression. And we want to be accepted and admired. We don't deal with the truth that you can't maintain that. Pretty soon it's going to be, baby, can I get some gas money or something? Something is going to come up that we will know that it's not the truth.
See, on a deeper level, what she's identifying with is that our women want men with money in an era where the man is oppressed at his highest, but we can still do more, right? So there's no excuse. But then get with these men that got everything they admire. He got this nice car, he got these things, but did you realize, can he really afford it? So you fall for the illusion. See, men know. See, the smart men who want to get a bunch of women, it's very simple. Whether if I can afford it or not, save my money, get me a nice car. You know what I'm saying? Wear some nice sneakers, some nice jeans. Just doll the body up to the highest form and make her think that I got everything she desired. I can have every woman in Raleigh. Even the ones we think righteous. 95%. If she think I got it, she'll start doing stuff she would never do for a man. For the fantasy to make love in the backseat of a Ferrari or the Maybach. But then you have a baby by this man, right? And then this the same man that don't take care of his children because he never really had it. He just knew how to maintain the illusion long enough to get you.
Our life. This is our life. This is what we live in. And the reason I can tell you these things is because they go on in our house. We think something different going on in everybody's house. No, it's not. The same nonsense is going on in everybody else. It's not different. You think you're different. It ain't different. It's the same. It's not different. Which is why we need a group solution to help us to start working on something. It's not to go out and join the organization. It's not to go, get in this club or group. You got to start where you at. You got to start at home, like the person you're looking at. Whether it's your family, whether it's your man, your woman, whoever, start trying to get along with them before you come out here in the street and protest something to help somebody else get along. Sometimes we go out, we can't even make it back in the car from a protest. We be fighting and arguing. This hypocrisy. That we all go into some kind of mass hypnosis and pretend it's not going on. It's going on, and it is destroying us year after year after year. See, we have one thing in common. We have a shared ancestral slave history. But we can't get away from that. We have come through the same thing. It's in us genetically. All our fears, our insecurities, our hatreds, hatred of self, hatred of anybody that look like us. All of that was bred into us. And so when those things come up, we have to be able to fight against it and say, no, I'm not going to do that because I know that's what they want me to do. I'm going to take a little bitty step. I'm going to try to just do something different. I'm going to try to do for self, some kind of way. And sisters, we have to take our hearts, as I said, because I mention this again because this is so important. We have to take our heart out of our vagina. Okay? That's not where your heart is. Don't let a man win your heart because of that. He got to win your head. He got to win your respect. He got to, win your honor. And he has to try to help us. Not do it, because nobody can really make you happy. Happiness is a thing that you have to decide as an individual. And so all that, I'm looking for somebody to make me happy, you're going to be looking forever. you ain't gonna never get finished looking. Because that doesn't exist like that. You have to decide, you know what? He all right. I'm gonna hose him off, dust him down. We're gonna be okay. I'm gonna make it with him. You know? I'm gonna cook him some food. I'm gonna cook, period. Now, a man that want a woman today, he can say, listen, I want a woman who's her own woman. I want her to be in good shape health-wise. I want her to be a certain size or whatever. But you better not say you want a woman that can cook, or you won't never get no woman. This is how crazy we have become. Food is what sustains life. How we gonna decide we don't want to cook the food? Historically, it is the female that go out and get the food, and bring it home and cook it and serve it. Now that's the history. That's on every continent. It's only in America where the...
You heard what she just said? So this is why when I speak all of these years and I speak about history being the foundation of our problem, the lack of understanding of history, who we were before these problems and before fear was passed into our genetics and all of the negative things we seen for those years. She uses history, and that's the truth. Let's go back. Listen to how important this is.
Be a certain size or whatever, but you better not say you want a woman that can cook, or you won't never get no woman. This is how crazy we have become. Food is what sustains life. How we gonna decide we don't want to cook the food? Historically, it is the female that go out and get the food, and bring it home and cook it and serve it. Now that
Historically, it's the female who goes and gets the food, the female lions hunt, and bring it back and prep it, right? But on a human level, the history on all people is the females got the food and brought it back. You see the miseducation? See, when they told you that you didn't have to do that, it created an entitlement that fucked you over for the rest of your life.
That's the history. That's on every continent. Now,
Hold on.
or you won't never get no woman. This is how crazy we have. Bring it home and cook it and serve.
Hold on, y'all. I'm sorry.
Sustains life. How we gonna decide we don't want to cook the food? Historically, it is the female that go out and get the food, and bring it home and cook it and serve it. Now that's the history. That's on every continent. It's only in America where the female goes to the Chinese restaurant or McDonald's and bring the food home. That's not quite what our history is. Okay? So we're not teaching our daughters to eat, to cook, and to eat to live. See, we are very powerful because we decide who's going to live and die. We decide how long you're going to live, what shape you're going to be in while you live, how you're going to feel. We decide all of that by what we feed you. And we could kill you in 6 months if we decide. We could do it in 6 months or less. Feed you a whole lot of chitlins, a whole lot of ham.
See, the issue, like I was telling my mom and my sister and them, I noticed that black women, you have power and don't even recognize it. But they have taught you to want the power of yours and the man's power, and just to feel like it's okay to have both and to not delegate the power on both ends evenly for success. You feel me?
Whole lot of you. And we could kill you in 6 months if we decide. We can do it in 6 months or less. Feed you a whole lot of chitlins, a whole lot of ham, a whole lot of white bread, white rice, white pasta, white sugar. Oh, we can lay you to rest. That's a lot of power. And with sisters, we need to know that that's a lot of power. We can build the nation. We can help our men to be able to see a long time, to have good virility a long time. We can do that by what we feed you. Yeah. Fortunately for me, and the reason I look so good is that in 1967, I had the teachings of R.B. Life's mom, and he told me how to information out here now about how you can eat, how you can prepare food, get the children off the sugar. We can't give up our culture just because we live in America. We can't give up being black because Barack.
You want to hear a crazy problem? How ignorant is it that we can't get our kids off sugar? I've had conversation with a lot of women, and it's such a hard battle. It's like, I come to you educated as a black man that actually read and give a fuck, and I say, yo, do you know that sugar is classified as a poison? It rots bones. If we take sugar and put it on a big ass cow bone and leave it there, a hole is gonna form and go straight through that thing. It's a poison. So we giving all this sugar and candy. Who told us that candy was the remedy to make our kids happy? Christmas, Halloween, Valentine's Day, candy, 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 Halloween. How many holidays associated with candy?
Obama is now the president of America. Okay? We're not multicultural. We are one cultural. We are not African Americans. We are American Africans. That's a different result. We are what an African looks like after being nearly destroyed here in this country by the white people. That's important to know. That's why they don't claim us on no other continent. The Africans that come here don't love us, and we don't like them. And all we talk about is the motherland, Africa, until we run into a real African.
But that's because the African knows the secret that the American blacks did not come from Africa, they came from America. And they were enslaved on the soil they already were on. That's not a secret. If you read enough books, you learn that the true Indian really means indigenous person. Nobody from America is from India. So when you study and you read, you realize that the real, what we call Indians, if you look at history at the pictures, they were dark skinned with pretty hair. And the other light-skinned ones they showed us came from the Philippines.
And we know that. How many Africans come over to our house to have dinner? How many Africans do our children play with? How many Africans go to church or the temple with us and everything? None. We don't hardly even eat in an African restaurant. This is the confusion and the hypocrisy we practice. We have to start really just trying to deal with ourselves. We have come a long way, and I don't want to take that away from us. But things are getting ready to change. This is really the short crux of what I wanted to tell you tonight. Things are getting ready to change in this country.
Let me say this to y'all. Let me give you a better foundation. We have to stop believing the small story that they told us about all the Africans in America, all over the world. They taught us that all the Africans are what we call African black people are all over the world because of the slave trade. Now that one teaches us that they were that powerful to do that, but if you don't know the history and you don't really have dug, then you wouldn't know that it was the African that circumnavigated the world 50 times and created all of the maps of the globe before Jesus ever lived. They had been around the globe, like they had already been around the whole globe and made maps, thousands of maps. So do you not think that when we were traveling that some people didn't stay in America or some people didn't stay in China and Europe? Because we know Europe was founded by the Grimaldi, which was dark-skinned people. And we know that there were dark-skinned people in South America and Mississippi, the oldest civilization on earth that they don't talk about. And the pyramids in India. I mean, in Indiana in America. The Wichita Mounds in Louisiana. There's more pyramids in North and South America than the rest of the world that they don't talk about. So do you think when the great earthquake happened in Pangea, when the world broke up, you don't think it was nobody living in America? So you think it was just a land that nobody lived on?
They're not going to change because of Barack Obama. They're going to change because of things that have already occurred before he got into the presidency, okay? We're heading for some hard times. Now, I know we think we have already had hard times. But no, we're heading for a different kind of hard times. And we will finally know the answer to what's love got to do with it. nothing. It's going to be survival. Whole paradigm getting ready to change. As I said, not getting along and fussing with our mates is a luxury. You get ready to be surprised how good you can get along with somebody.
When your life on the line, like when they cut our food supply off, and can't nobody make no money, and ain't no daycare systems, and ain't no other way. See, it's amazing how strong we are in turmoil. See, they realized when they made us stress in the early 1900s, it made us strong, and it made millionaires, and it made great minds and inventors and thinkers. So they said, wait, let's do this opposite. Let's give black women the jobs. Let's open up finance. Let's let their kids live in an illusion, a great illusion where they equal and going to school. Let's do all of that and blind them to the fact and let them live comfortably. Let's get them access to things so that once they get the access, they're going to lose their drive. Remember, there's think tanks in America of what we call the European. They sit in a room and these people they sit around and they think about all of what could possibly happen in the next 1,000 years. That's what they get paid to do. And they think about everything that could possibly happen and they come up with strategies. We don't do that.
You get ready to be happier than you ever been. We're going to have forced unity. Our priority lists are going to shorten. And we're going to find out that we can really survive with our own fingernails. We're going to fix our own hair. We're going to eat beans more than we ever have ate them. Okay? And we're going to be happy. We're going to be praying. We're getting ready to deal. And words like keeping it real going to take on a whole new meaning. Okay? We have to be able to be ready for this time that's coming. We need to cut our spending some. All that time in the club, we need to try to stay home at night and see if it really will run us crazy. We're going to have to get our sisters off the street hanging out all night. We're going to have our brothers stop killing the rest of our people who are on the street with drugs. And if you got any guns, you better save them for your real enemy. Okay? Because there's not nobody that look like you. Okay? We're going to have to prepare for the day of want, which is coming quickly. Okay? And all the brand name clothes you got, you'll be willing to sell them for a loaf of bread. That's going to be the real relationship. As I said, not getting along, it's a luxury. And the time is up now. Now, you know, many of us are already out of work. We have somewhat adjusted to it, so we're ahead of the curve. But now you got a lot of people out here who getting ready to get out of work and getting ready to lose their houses, their cars, their credit cards, and all those things, and they're going to have a hard time. And they might be ready to take that frustration out on you. So that means you're going to have your house secure, you're going to have you some candles or something put up, and you're going to have to teach your children that they can't have every game that come out that the Asians put out for $49.95. We're going to have to shape these priorities and do this a little differently. And you will be surprised that as you are starting to deal with mere and sheer survival, a whole lot of them arguments, they're going to just dissipate. If there be any fights in your house, it'll be who ate the last beans. It is no longer going to be about, I know you was with her, I saw you with him. We're not going to do that. That's going to end, I'm telling you. And I want you to remember that I'm telling you this. That's a luxury. Your relationship legacy has to be one where you have set an example, where you lead by example. And you may have to talk to a whole lot of people before you finally run into somebody that makes some sense. Okay? It may be just somebody that's in peace. Because sometimes when a man especially is with a woman who is in peace, then he can produce more. He has the spirit to go out and try to do something. But you can't nag no man in the ground and then expect him to go out and want to give you nothing. It don't work that way. I know. And I know the same way you know. It wasn't until I got nice that the blessings opened up for me. You know, a smile, it goes a long way. I mean, been out in the world, everybody he met been mad at him, hating him, dogging him, and then when he come home, what man want to come home to another house where somebody else mad? And he can't get away from us. Even on the street, he had to pass them on the job. But when he come home, you know, just a smile. That's supportive. That's helpful. That's how to have a man. It is not about any of what we think it is. It's not about how we look. It's not about how long our hair is. It's not about no shape. It ain't about none of that. It's about peace. Bear witness to the truth. Is it about peace? All right. That's what it's about. And if you can't learn how to practice peace, it don't matter what kind of hairstyle you got, what kind of clothes you got, what kind of credit cards you got, what kind of job you have. None of that don't matter if you don't know how to have peace for a man. Notice I didn't say with a man. I said for a man. That's so far removed from so many of us, but we still mad at our father. And then a brother come along and we be beating him up. And he be wondering, what is her problem? She mad at her daddy. You got to try to wade through all of that to try to get to the woman. It's unfair. It's just completely unfair. It's just not fair to our men. Just how we deal with them. It's not fair. I've been saying it. It's just not right. Because they are the most gentle soul. We have the very best man on earth. Everybody want our man. But us. We have the best man. We have the most attractive man. We have the strongest man. We have the most creative man. They don't keep our man out because he's bad. They keep him out because he's the best. And they know any little thing he get in, including the presidency, if he get in it, he in it to win it. See? So we need to recognize who that is. The black man was the first man on earth. And if God made man in his image, okay, you were the black man, that might be the closest to God you ever get.
And if you were the black woman, that might be the closest to God you ever get as well.
You know, if it's concrete on the ground, the reason they have to really prepare the earth when they lay concrete is because one blade of grass that you can flick with your finger can crack that entire concrete. One blade of grass will crack concrete that if it fell on you would kill you. So if you come up with a little blade of grass, then you can crack the concrete that's repelling and hold our man down. The white woman is for her man. The Asian woman is for her man, and you know the Jewish woman is for hers. We need to start a whole new paradigm. Let's speak a good word for our man. Let's don't let nobody just come down on him. I have been in elevators. It'd be a brother in the elevator, and a white man be in the elevator, and the white man will ask a question, and every sister in there turn around and start answering. You know, I know my position is I ain't the information booth. But I've seen it. I've seen sisters walk past a brother and just won't even speak to him. That ain't right. That's not right. You know, we have to do this thing differently. We have to make our man want to be with us, want to come home to us. And we also have to recognize that just like he's beautiful to us, he's beautiful to everybody else that see him. Okay? We don't have no lockdown on him being wonderful. This is just how it is. They're all beautiful. I know millions of them. And that each of you have something wonderful in you that's waiting to come out if you can get past your relationship with your mother and with those other women you've had. See, we got all of that is in there. It's all in there. It's all buried. It's repressed. But it ain't that deep because of one little scratch. You know how we argue with them. We be having a real hot argument. And then next thing we know, we talk about their family, their roots, their feet, everything. Yeah, we just do it unfairly because we so ready with it, you know. We so pent up. We ready to fight it out. And we can't win. Even when we win, we lose. So we want to try to just be kind to each other and try to do that differently. We need to protect our children. Here's something that sisters we can do. Protect our children from future back pain for our men and from our little girls from having a weak uterus. The book bags they're carrying should not be any more than 25% of their weight. These books that they're giving them in the school, that they're not teaching them out of anyway, sometimes weigh 30 and 40 pounds. That's too much. Check your child's book bag. That's a project for you. Go home and see, and if that book bag is too heavy, get to the school and demand that the teacher carry the book bag around all day. See what they think about it. Because it's really injuring our children. We have to protect our children from premature sexual arousal. Now that's very important. Stop letting them look at all of them filthy sexual innuendo movies and videos and all of that. Little children can't handle those emotions. And unfortunately, our men have not been able to develop the kind of discipline that keeps them from hitting on young girls. So we have to teach the children how to at least dress and function in a certain way to try to protect themselves. This is something that we don't address that we need to do. We need to recognize that the people who are telling us now to date other men of other races and nationalities, they're not really for us, sisters. See, other men in other races and nationalities have always had access to us. That ain't new. Usually by force. Okay? So we not only insult ourselves, we insult our men. We insult God who made our men by trying to be with some other nationality of people and pretend you somebody else. You have to deal with self. Okay, we got a whole shitload right here in this room. We got the same shared experience. Okay? I think there's something else that Barack Obama has been able to teach us, and you know we are glad, as a Muslim follower of the teachings of Honorable Elijah Muhammad, I am so glad that we have a black man in the White House who do not have a slave name. Now that is progress, and that is a good example. Now let me show you how you feel about it. Everybody in here who got a slave name, raise your hand. That's too many. That's way too many. You need to work on that. See, the white man don't care what you call yourself, as long as you don't change your social security number.
Right. So when I go to court and I tell them that my name is Abe, which is a Moorish title, they say, "Well, sir, did you go to court and change your name?" I say, "Well, I have the right to change my name as long as it's not done in fraudulent intent." And then the judge say, "Okay," and it goes on.
You can be Spider-Man. Just keep that same number. Okay? So don't be afraid to take one of your own African names. Give him back his name. Yes. You don't have to tell no Jewish mother, don't name your child Adolf Hitler. She know not to do that, but that's an insult to her culture. Okay? So everybody with a slave name needs to start recognizing that. You need to give them back their name. I don't care if you got it from your mom and your daddy, it wasn't theirs. Nobody can get off the ship named John and William, Martha, Tamika. Ain't nobody on the ship named that. Not one person. Pick you a name. Get one of your names back. That's the first step in reclaiming your own. And since we have an example now, this beautiful brother and his family up there, his name is Barack Obama. He not Willie Jones. We wouldn't even want him to be President Jones. See? So that's a sign. We can do that. Get your own name. Don't make up no name. We already have names. Get a name book. Get your own name. Then look at the power of signing your own name. Answering to your own name. And I get called everything. Shahrazad, Shahrazad, anything. It's all right. I say yes. Anything is better than Sally me. See? It feels good. I can flip that, and then I go play sometime and they'll say, well, who do we make the check out to? I said, what you mean, who you make the check out to? I said, you make the check out to Shahrazad Ali. Oh, okay, sister, I didn't know. You didn't know what? So we ain't talking about you having two names. Okay? I don't want to see you and say, how you doing, Malik? And then somebody come by and say, hey, Rudy, man. Okay? Get your own name. Oh.
I'm out of here this morning. BH.